Everybody's dancing down at Bud's Garage. Hello, my name is Pat Dunn, and welcome to Bud's Garage. What I've been doing is I'm still watching a lot of the video stuff we shot at the Cornerstone Festival in Chicago that we just went to. And I think tonight what we're going to do is look at a lot of the videos of people dancing. One of the things about Cornerstone is there's a lot of dancing. A lot of people, you know, really get creative and individual kind of in their dancing. So what we did is made a lot of videos of a whole lot of different kinds of dances.
Yes, yes.
Okay, I'll dance with you. Here, hold this flashlight. Hold my glasses. All right, you ready? Yeah.
It doesn't work too well without music, though. We can put music to it, no problem.
Is that good? Okay.
Come on, everybody. This is a mosh. This is a mosh. And then we're slow. This is the slow motion.
This is slow motion.
Let's start a little bit. Ready?
A pogo pit.
Pogo pit. Okay, I'm out of here.
That's it.
No, prep dances now.
That's one thing.
However,
does not do. Wait, Grateful Dead fans. They're dancing.
Hey,
we're gonna Dead dance.
Look.
They're acid dances. You're there. Okay.
That's not
Very trippy. Very trippy.
You notice he clashes horribly.
You guys got to see that.
They start doing this and getting ready, and then they dive, and they go like this, and they fall over.
One of the things I've been thinking about dancing, well, all art really in general, I've come to the conclusion that art is nothing more than a form of communication. Now, the most obvious form of communication is talking. But see, there are some things that can't be said with words, so you paint a picture. And then there's some things that can't be said with color and line, so you make music. And then there's things that can't be said with music, so you dance. And each of these forms of communication, each of these forms of art communicates something in a different way. And I think dancing is the one that, because there's no words and there's no language, whatever message and whatever thing gets communicated with dance is mostly intuitive. Maybe to use Bible language, it requires faith. For a dancer to think he can communicate something with his dance requires faith. And for us to watch the dance and to get the message from it requires faith. Now, back in the old days in the Bible, dance was used as a form of worship. That's something that's sort of moved out of favor with churches over the last few hundred years. But it seems to be starting back up again, that people see dance as a form of worship. There's a man who's really been studying and practicing the idea of dance as a form of worship for quite a few years now, and we just ran into him recently at this place, and we interviewed him. He told us all about what he'd been thinking and things that he's been seeing as far as dance and the arts in general.
Lift its branches, I lift my hands to glorify.
I like to play music that's really danceable and very energetic, very infectious. And I also like slow music too, but for me, dancing and music have always been together. You know, the physical part of music is integral to it, and you can't really separate them. And dancing has never been associated in my life with an evil or a sinister thing. I've always felt like it's a wholesome human response. And I think sometimes it's unfortunate that we in the church have lost the joy and the carefree abandon that comes with dancing. And I'm a music director in my church, and I'm trying to work on ways to figure out how we can incorporate it more. And one of the most effective ways that we've found to involve dance in our church is through our African members who are studying in this country, and they have some really neat, simple songs. Yesu halalela, halalela, Yesu halalela. Songs about Jesus, giver of joy, Jesus, giver of joy. But the tongue, the Swahili or whatever language they're singing, and then the simple steps that we do, everyone gets up, everyone does them. All the white people do. And it kind of takes away some of that sinister feeling that people have about dancing, and instead puts it together with some of the liberating and the freeing quality of a relationship with God.
Elijah was a man just like us, and Moses was a man just like us. Daniel was a man just like us. Queen Esther was a woman.
We sell comics. We sell more than just comics.
Steve Scott, the singer, is also an author. Here's his book, The Boundaries.
This is Steve Scott in process, thinking things through in print.
I sure do.
I do.
I do.
I do.
We do.
I do. I do.
I do.
You bet I do.
Someday she will.
I do.
We do.
Distinctive books, tapes, CDs, and gifts. Hearts and Minds Bookstore in Dallastown.
For all your gardening needs, come to Espen Shades Greenhouse in Burkeville along Route 322.
Provident Bookstore is more than books. Provident is office supplies. Provident is gifts. And Provident has one of the largest selections of Christian music in South Central Pennsylvania. Provident bookstores are located at the Lancaster Shopping Center and Park City Mall, with stores also in Ephrata and New Holland.
Now, here we see moshing. See them? They're just going round and round there, kind of. I remember when you taped this, Dave. I remember you just took your camera and went wading right into that crowd.
Yeah.
Was it scary?
Yeah, it looks kind of scary, doesn't it?
Yeah.
It's sort of violent.
Yeah, it's kind of like it looks like sort of a whirlpool of people going round and round.
Yeah, there's three special guys in the middle of that, and their job is, are you all right, Don? and their job is to push the whirlpool out to make sure it doesn't collapse on them. They seem to be really important, or else it doesn't work.
They keep it moving, like? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, they keep people moving along, and they...
Okay. Okay, now this is stage diving.
Oh, boy.
So while they're going around and around, then the people start, like, jumping off the stage here. Right, there goes one.
I tried to explain this to a couple of people, and
Why don't you give him your camera so we can talk? Oh. That's pretty strange. Here.
Thanks.
There you go. Yeah, well, didn't we, remember, wasn't it the next day, or was it the same day?
It was the same day.
That we went out and talked to a bunch of kids that were into this moshing and stage diving, and right?
Yeah, They had seen like Vengeance, Crucified, seen them doing some stage diving.
Oh, it's like crowd control, because it's a violent game of Ring Around the Rosies, and everyone's just packed in as tight as you can, just going around in a circle. And you know, once in a while you gotta look up and catch the guys flying off the stage. You know, because people are always jumping off the stage.
Now I want to talk
got
about
this from moshing right here.
Did you?
Yeah.
Last night?
Huh?
Last night? Or-
Yeah. During Crucified. That's all I got.
Oh, I won't get into it.
Can I just say hi?
Yeah.
Hi. I just had to do that, don't mind me.
Do you jump off the stages?
No, I haven't had that honor just yet.
That's a blast.
I just talked to a lot of people.
It looks like fun.
I did it.
Did you?
Yeah, it's fun.
Something you said interests me. You said it's like they don't want people to get hurt, especially at Christian festivals.
Yeah. Okay. Well, I guess what you could say is here mainly, you kind of expect everybody to be Christian and stuff like that, but they're not. You know, there's a lot of unbelievers here. That's why, you know, people get hurt sometimes, and like that was ridiculous. That one girl that got her nose busted and stuff like that. You know, that was they should have never happened like that. But mainly the most of them down in there were Christian stuff. So it's mainly so they don't get hurt and stuff. And usually, you know, they just really safe, especially even the stage dive. I mean, I dove probably about 9 or 10 times since I've been here, and I mean, this ain't no, I didn't even feel it, you know, I didn't even know what happened. It's just because I had my shirt off and everything, I was all wet anyways.
Like me, I gotta find a couple big guys in a row, you know, and try to jump for them.
You want to pick your target before you jump, and they throw you, right?
Yeah, and like these guys, they'll pick you up as soon as you touch the stage. They'll pick you up and throw you out there. And I went way out there one day, and just everyone moved out of my way because they were all smaller than I was.
Another reason why those guys are up there is because a lot of big guys get up there, and they don't want them to get a chance to set up and to dive, you know, because if you get some 200-pound guy or bigger getting ready to set up to dive, everybody's just gonna move out of the way. He's gonna follow the pavement.
Somebody like you's got to try to catch him.
Yeah, that'd be awful. I mean, can you imagine? I mean, there's Heather on the floor, smushed. That'd scrape me off the pavement.
I think it's a bad idea, like for girls to do it, like for surfing them, you know, where they pick them up and send them down the crowd.
That's called surfing.
Yeah, you pick them up and everybody passes them down, like up to the stage or whatever. But like if it's a girl or something, you gotta watch out because you don't know what you're gonna grab, you know, and that's not good for them to be doing that, or diving either, you know. But just like with anything, you know, it can be, it's not probably evil in itself. It's the way you use it, you know. If you're using it for just to be a part of the crowd or whatever, I'm sure that, you know, if you were doing it, you could probably do it to praise God. In my mind, I probably wouldn't do it to praise God or whatever, but it's probably possible.
Can do it for fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
I couldn't see Jesus going through stage diving. I really couldn't do that. But it's all right, you know. I wouldn't do it myself. I got more sense, but.
Pretty much what will happen is the crowd, or at least the crowd around that person, will stop and help the person up. And so everybody tries to get them up so that they don't get hurt or stepped on or anything. It's like with punk, you're out there doing it to have fun, doing it to release aggression and stuff. And everybody's out there for the same purpose, you know, just to have fun. And it's like dancing to the music, you know, have a good time.
Most of the other shows, they wouldn't bother picking you up. They'd rather step on you than anything. Nazi punks, a lot of them, they like to really kill people. That's what's nice about this place, is that they do help you.
Somebody falls and everybody helps them up. But if you go to like a metal show, and then they're all out to hurt each other. You know, they wear like razor blade gloves or whatever, you know.
That's still fun. That's still happening.
What?
They still do that.
Yeah.
Like, if you fall down, it's like an object is to step on you, you know, to hurt that person. And it's not cool, man. I mean, who wants to get hurt? You're just out to have fun.
When I first saw people going around and around in that circle, I was a little bit, it bothered me a little bit. And the more I watched it, the more I realized that they were just having fun, and it looked a lot worse than it really was. Then later, as I went back to the campsite, I started thinking about other things that I've seen young people do at gatherings and picnics and stuff. And of course, the first thing I thought of was football, which is instead of going round and round and round in a circle, they sort of divide up into two teams and they get on two ends of a field and they like bang into each other. I guess it's not really that much different. I don't know. Don't seem like anything to worry about to me.
There's certain moments during the set that I could look out and I could see people, you know, maybe for the first part of the show they're, you know, dancing around or just full on moshing all over the place, and towards the end of the set there's certain songs that they suddenly remember the lyrics and it just hits them. All of a sudden they stop for a second and just soak up whatever God's doing in them, you know, and sing the words that they know, you know, with their eyes closed. And that I was hoping that people would be hit that way a little bit, would be touched.
Even on stage, man. I mean, with all that's going on, all the volume and the excitement, there's times I just get blown away too. I just realize, yeah, you know, this is what it's about, and I same thing happens to me, and I just look at it, yeah, thanks, Lord.
Yeah.
So
even though you play the songs night after night after night,
sometimes it can get real mechanical.
Yeah, I've wondered about that.
Yeah,
it hasn't recently though. It's been real good, still real refreshing.
Yeah.
We tried to change the set around here, and they're pretty, you know, add different songs, take away different songs, but you know, you figure I just feel, I remember seeing some bands years ago, and that you tell they were just tired of doing their songs, and in my heart I just said, boy, if I ever do it, I'll never get tired, because the kid out there, I mean, you do 12 concerts or whatever, and to some musicians just another concert, but to that kid who paid whatever or drove from whatever, that's a special time for him, and you can't forget that. You can never be complacent.
Yeah.
I think it's just another concert, because they're all important. You gotta play each one like it's your last.
We all need mercy from one another, because, you know, maybe we're not too cool to each other, and we walk around just thinking, oh gosh, you know, how could he say that to me, or I'm really gonna get this person for that, and it makes the whole world a mess, because, you know, maybe we're going around getting vengeance on one another, you know, and so because God was merciful and sent His Son, made that extreme sacrifice, then it's our cue to give up part of ourselves for the next person. You know, give up being right or justified for the sake of the next person.
I agree.
I said it all. Sorry.
Broken people like us.
Yeah, broken hearts like these, the ones God cries for.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, we're all in the same boat.
Yep.
Really, when it comes down to it. I mean, we're no different from anybody else.
Trials and hassles and life. What the heck am I doing
And
here?
sore
That kind of
necks.
stuff.
Yeah.
And belly aching.
All the way from having your house, having a freeway fall on your car, to, you know, to being late for work and getting yelled out for it. You know, we need the Lord love in all those situations.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, there's lots of different kinds of dancing. There's dancing that communicates, there's dancing that worships, and there's dance that's just for fun. And I'm sure there's a lot more stuff we could say about it, but I don't know everything. So we see you here again next time on Bud's Garage.
Leave us with the